Welcome to the stream. Today we have Stanley Parable again, where I'm going to make all the worst choices in the world and have a blast with it. I hope you guys are excited and ready for this. Let me make sure that everybody knows I am live. Already live on Twitch, I see, and I know I'm live on YouTube. I got to get that pulled up. Where is my YouTube? There it is. And making all the bad choices. That's what I'm doing today, guys. I'm making all the bad choices. It's gonna be fun. Hello, Moose! Welcome to being first in the YouTube world. Where's my Discord? Alright. Bam! Okay, let's do this. I'm excited. I'm ready to see what happens. Uggs and head pats, Pega and Pega fam. Aw, thank you. Hello, guest 4982. And hello, Oddball. Welcome. The chat is ready to display messages. I'm super quiet. How's that? How's that working for y'all? Let's see what it says here. Okay, yeah, that should be better. That should be better now. Whoa, that's peaking actually. Okay. Yeah, that should be good. That should be better. Thank you, Moose, for letting me know that. I am going to checking levels on Twitch might be a YouTube thing. Well, it was probably because I had to turn my microphone down to do a voice acting thing earlier this week. Let me start TikTok live, and then we will go into the game. The game of the narrator jerk can't tell me what to do. That's the game. That's the game today. And trying to, why is it looking like that? What the heck? Trying to not do what I need to do in order to... Oh, I see what's going on. Okay. Well, once I X out of this, put that down. No, it's still... What is happening? Why is my virtual camera not working? No video signal. Uh-oh. One sec. I gotta figure this out. Thought she answered it. You could miss like that screen room one last time. Would you like me to provide suggestions to find them without spoiling the fun? Yeah, sure. Did you not see my answer? I said that I can't play it on Wednesday because we've got Hades based on, or we're doing Hades on Wednesday. Why is it doing this? Okay, first and foremost, this should have turned into my camera. Okay, we're just gonna delete, and then I'm going to add video capture device. Come on. No. Video. Window capture. Okay, and then I'm going to add... No, that's not it. Which one is it? Well, you know what? I'll add the sources myself. Camera. Add. Oh, God. Hey, it's better than nothing, I guess. Okay, add source. That's going to be up there. And then window capture device. Window capture device is going to be added next. But first I have to open the game. Anywho, I'm just making some gotcha OCs. Okay. I'm glad you saw. Okay. Open Steam. I'm going to turn off the virtual camera on OBS because it's obviously not doing what it's supposed to be. So virtual camera, bye-bye. And I will just make my own TikTok camera. Oh, Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Developed by Crows. Here we go. Get my gameplay on. And window. Let's see. The Stanley Parable. Bam! Please enter the current time. It won't let me say whether I've played it or not. Was what I would expect when getting surprised with a pic of me in a bikini. I'm sorry. It's just that my camera looks so bad on TikTok because it's not letting me do the virtual camera thing. I'm going to have to reset that up, I think. All right, so we got that, and then we've got window capture, add source. Oh. Window capture. This is going to be the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. And it's going to... Where is it? Like... Capture cursor. Don't think I'm going to get to go live on TikTok today. TikTok is being weird. Okay. You feel bad for the people that work minimum wage? I get that. No hugs, no head pats, and no Dr. Pepper, ice cream, cake, Alistair, Lucille, Juica, Fortnite, Hades. My favorite foods and no Pokemon, Nintendo Switch. Why would you take away everything? I don't understand what I did to have everything taken away from me like that. I've been good. I swear I have. I've not done anything mean to anybody. All right, enter the current time. Okay. 7:09. 7:09 a.m. Your favorite time of day. No, that's not what I meant. Or could you simply not resist giving me the correct time again? After all, I know how much you enjoy setting the time correctly. Orville didn't take a nacho cheese, so we still have that. That's true. Okay, now I'm curious how accurate 7:09 a.m. is. Let's use another slider to find out. How accurate is 7:09 a.m.? Very inaccurate. Confirm. You know, can I just say, regardless of the accuracy of the clock, I'm having a great time adjusting these settings. I feel like I'm learning more about you and how you like things to be set. It's good to collect data. I wish we had more sliders, but we've gone through all the sliders I have. Perhaps I can invent some new sliders to gather new data on you. Shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, let me whip a couple new ones up. Should be ready by the next time you boot up the game. Oh no! Okay, begin the game. Oh my god, what is wrong with the...
Seven's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard.
There we go.
Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and
This
in
cookie
morning.
bit wasn't in the...
This
Oh,
is
it
what
wasn't?
employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although
Real
others
treat
might
next
have
time.
considered
Oh,
it
boy.
soul-breaking, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Ah, okay,
And then
gotcha.
one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never
I'm
in
doing
all
good.
his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, welcome back. Quit the game and then start it again. I'm not getting out of my office. I'm gonna hide in here. I'm
But Stanley
scared.
simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me.
That's
From
right.
here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do.
No.
Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Wait. What? I don't remember doing that last time.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement?
You
Click
bet
a
I
ball
am.
5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No, 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 no. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now,
Yes.
suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause.
Give me the
Perhaps 50 clicks
achievement.
will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
Dumbass, give me the achievement. I know this is an achievement.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to
Oh
be
my
a true
God!
reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley.
I'm clicking
I
as quick as I can!
A willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
417? Where's that one at? Did he trick me? Did that bastard trick me? Hello, Prismatic! 417. Eliminate spectacular
Great.
timeline.
Now, go click a few times on door 437.
437? Why am I doing this? Why am I letting this jerk control? There is no 437. Is there? Oh, there it is.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
415? I'm just running around like there's no tomorrow. Yeah, door 430 is an achievement. I found that out today. I was looking to, because I wanted to get some achievements.
Now, back to door number 437.
Dude, are you just being a tease? Are you just pissing me off?
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
Okay, where's the copy machine?
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
What the fuck is this?
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
Okay. How do I climb up there? I've been up there before! What the hell?
Yes! This is
There
great.
we go.
You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
416?
We've almost got it. Now, copy machine, do that one again.
The copy machine? Hello, Paul CGN. I'm really enjoying it. I haven't really gotten that far in it. I think I got 3 endings.
Finish it off, Stanley. 5 clicks on door 430.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes!
Yeah!
Oh, wow. That felt amazing.
Oh, it's all rainbowy.
Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago, you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
Well, that's what it said. My Twitch name is different. I'm the Catholic Gaming Nerd. Oh, okay, gotcha. Hello, welcome, Paul. I figured that's who you were, but I didn't know for sure. So far, she's done the countdown ending, the official ending, and the escape ending. And I also did the ending where I jumped off the lift.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Nah, no thanks.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
I
Perhaps
did.
he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
You saved the boring endings for me. Aw, did I save the boring endings for you? There's more endings than just the boring. There's more endings.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had
Give me
really
some
been
cold
worth
drinks.
the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood
Gorgeous.
here, drinking it all in.
So the best endings. Oh, okay. Yeah, how have you been, Paul? It's been a while.
Really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings.
Yep.
Really worth it.
Uh-huh. What are these paintings? Is that a leaf and
At
an
this
ocean?
point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality.
Oh,
It's
thanks.
possible that this is why everyone left.
Thanks, jerk. I am so lonely. Don't
Stanley
worry,
sat
they're
around
on.
waiting for more dialogue. But when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
A lot of ear pain and a layoff, but on the plus side, I have a new volunteer job and got my Switch 2 pre-order up and running. Nice! I am going to
But
a
at
Comic-Con in
last, he'd had
Phoenix.
enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Okay.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting,
I can do that.
Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Who?
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Oh God, what's gonna happen?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Oh!
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
What?
They want to commit their life to you. I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see
See,
something.
oddball.
Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
I'm still doing this game kind of blind, but if you know of an achievement that I don't know about...
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Death? Good morning, employee 427. Press R on your keyboard? What if I press E?
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
This is the getting over it narrator. I don't know. Please press I.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
No. No. Okay, fine.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Rude! Please press N to watch TV.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job.
Whoa!
First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought...
Yeah, you can share them.
Terribly.
Please press O to spend time with the boys.
He went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Please press C to prepare dinner.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. Down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions, and down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Aw, man. Hello, Mango Ninja. Yeah, you can share the streams. Please press G to tell. I have kids!
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head, he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Please press U to tell your wife you love her.
But there is no answer.
Oh!
How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one.
I don't want to! Please press X to go to sleep. No! No! I don't trust that! No! No! Whatever.
And I'm trying to tell him this. That in this world he can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Please press Y to be at work in the morning. No. He told me not to. Oh, is it the same guy? He told me not to. Is this gonna last forever? I think this is gonna last forever.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Please press J to question nothing?
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button.
Please die? That is so mean! Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
La 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 da da da. New content?
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Uh-oh. Do I want to know? Your favorite part of the game? It's a roller coaster!
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Oh, nice!
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
I have to go in that scary elevator thing? I don't trust this. This seems too good to be
Okay,
true.
So far, it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
This seems too good to be true. Okay, how do I make this elevator go?
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Then I imagine it might be hard for you to tell the difference between the original and new content. Probably. I've never played the original.
Initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Mostly tedious. It's as if them... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Gimme the content, Stanley.
The jump circle?
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle?
Uh-huh. Oh! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Oh, okay. Is that it?
Is that it? Surely
Yeah.
that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Surely. I have to go through an elevator again?
Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good.
Hello, Unusual Butterfly
I knew there had
Girl.
to be
Welcome to
something
the
else.
stream on
Let's see it.
Twitch.
I'm ready for whatever it is.
Okay. There's another jump circle? I want to do more jumping. Thank you for enjoying...
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
Give me my
It's my
achievement.
fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks.
That's a lie.
Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
No. No! I didn't want to! Wait. Okay, things are a little creepy now. There's no desks. There's no nothing.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
It looks like I'm gonna die, but okay. Here I go! There's a screwdriver here, and a cup that says coffee nut. Whee!
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me
Yes.
thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
What did you do, narrator guy? What did you do? Woo! Ooh! Is it heaven? Hey!
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Okay. Welcome to the memory zone. But one of my kiddos are sick. Oh no, I'm sorry that your kid's sick. I'm glad you got rid of the headache though. Memory, sweet memory.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
I didn't ever play the original, so I don't know. A trip down memory lane. Smile because it happened. First $1. Go outside. Don't play for 5 years. There's a new achievement that's don't play for 10 years. You have ultra. Yeah, I know. Ooh, it's like a little zen area.
Here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing.
Yeah, I'm sure
It's
it
no
was
games
totally
at all.
Skyrim.
It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
An hour of new elevator content? Oh god. Wait. Do I go down or do I go up? Memory zone maintenance. I guess I can't go down that. Person of the year, Stanley! Let's see.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
To be totally honest, I liked the jump circle. Bring me more jump circles. It's better than you going down memory lane like an old dude. Okay, what do I do now? Where do I go now? Is that it? I guess I go back down here.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
I don't know. What is it? I think I'm gonna die. Hey, look, it's cold drinks.
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
I'm assuming not. If you're asking me, I don't know. Oh my god. Narrator guy's about to have a meltdown when he reads this.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
They might have. I don't know. I haven't played the console version. Yeah, I knew the narrator was gonna freak out when he read that review. Let's see if there's another nice review to freak out the narrator even more. Piss him off. Yeah! Yeah! Let's piss him off some more.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can
tell me what
if
to
I'm
do,
preachy.
yeah.
Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure.
Oh no!
Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Hey look, here's a recommended. I'm trying to help you feel better, sir. Poor narrator dude just found out that nobody likes his game. What's with the creepy music? Oh no, it's another one! Is that if you look on Steam, the game has overwhelmingly positive as its
What's
score?
this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
I like
skip
the
button.
narrator.
Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get.
I don't want
Don't
silence!
sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up.
No!
Yes, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday.
I like
here
the
and there,
narrator.
forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once. So now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago?
God!
Which is why I say, the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once. So now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture.
There we go.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes
I know,
and
it was
lengthy
beautiful.
ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise.
The Sims is making me update it, but I didn't want to because some of my mods need... Oh, no.
Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice.
Okay.
That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your great gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once. That you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone?
It
It has a
does.
mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. See, now you've gotten me going back to manifesto. Heavens,
boy.
at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay,
Oh,
look,
God.
I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations. All right, here we go. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto.
Okay, shut up.
Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality.
Sir? Are you done?
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes?
Wait, what?
Unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go?
Oh,
Wasn't there
no!
a door that led into this room? I don't
Yes?
feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole?
Am I
A
dead?
sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I
Yes.
swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here. We need a door.
I'm
We need
doing
a
what I
door of some
can.
kind. I can work with any kind of door as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please, please, please do not press the skip button. Just
I'm not
wait
going
here.
to.
Wait here for me, and don't press the skip button. Got it? Yes, good. I'll be right back.
How long do I have to wait for him? Let me out! You know what? I don't care what he said.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it, and I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking and thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why
That's
was
a
it
bad
so
way
important
to
for me
look
to
at life.
fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even
don't
met
know.
Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am.
Guys, don't forget to hit the like button on YouTube if you're on YouTube watching right now. And feel free to subscribe or follow on Twitch if you have not yet.
I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child, wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter and to change and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this one person who made a single negative comment. What does such an impulse serve? For whose
Nothing.
benefit is this? And here I am now, stuck in a room, waiting for you to press this button. to become frozen in time, knowing that you're going to do it and that I'm going to be stuck all alone, and that I had the power to prevent it all from happening if only I'd held my tongue. It's all out of my control now. Just you.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I'd be the same way. Like, if people were giving my channel negative reviews, I mean, I'm pretty good with dealing with trolls, but if I see more than one troll say the same thing, then I start wondering if it's something I did. So I totally get it. It is a sad part of being a game developer.
Just your decision as to exactly when you're going to make me suffer, to leave me all alone. Surely you will. I don't doubt it. Surely you'll press that button again, leaving me here. And surely you'll put your own desire to see what's next ahead of my need for company, for companionship. Surely you'll not be moved by my howls of fitful anxiety, that you sit with me and just stay here. Oh, no, 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 I know you too well. You'll be leaving me again. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant
I'm sitting
as a
with
child.
you.
Wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter and to change and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this one
It's the
person
same
who made a
thing.
single negative comment. What does such an
Oh,
impulse
sorry.
serve? For whose benefit is this? And here I am now, stuck in a room.
It's all
waiting for you
good.
to press this button and to become frozen in time, knowing that you're going to do it and that I'm going to be stuck all alone, and that I had the power to prevent it all from happening if only I'd held my tongue. It's all out of my control now. Just you. Just your decision as to exactly when you're going to make me suffer, to
I'm
leave
just
me
gonna
all
sit
alone.
here with
Surely
you.
Will. I don't doubt it. Surely you'll press that button again, leaving me here.
I don't
and
want
surely
to.
You'll put your own desire to see what's next ahead of my need for company, for companionship.
I'm sitting here
Surely
with
you'll
you,
not be
sir.
moved by my howls of fitful anxiety, that you sit with me and just stay here. Oh, no, 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 I know you too well. You'll be leaving me oh, my God. And it's all
Okay,
because of
fine.
those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again.
Sir?
Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks.
Sir, you're bordering on unhealthy obsession. You were talking about me having an unhealthy obsession with the break room. Sir, you're bordering on unhealthy obsession right now.
I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak.
I'm here for you,
And
bud.
you think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It
I'm
was the
listening!
vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up.
Oh my
I'll give up
goodness!
every
Allah, thank you for
branching path.
subscribing!
I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me.
I hear
Because
you!
Maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real.
You are
Maybe
real.
I'm not just a fiction.
You're
Was
not.
I scared of that all along? Perhaps, yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time, that if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it.
Stay with.
I
I'm
can't be
staying
taken
with
by
you.
it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me. When you press that button,
Things are getting
you're
darker.
still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away. And in those moments, the emptiness folds itself outward in between the two of us. and I am suspended in its unyielding quietness. I can feel the edges of my reality curdling inward and decaying.
I'm
I
sitting
can
with
tell
you.
that I am becoming less and less real.
No,
Yet
you're
to speak
real.
to you now, I am alive. I am truly and completely here. I am a being. I am someone. I am something. I am being listened to. I am being recognized. The emptiness between us has collapsed, and I feel right now like I am not a work of fiction. I feel
Good.
as though I occupy space in this world again. And
Because
I
you
have cast
do.
a shadow onto the wall. You see what I'm saying, don't you? You can see what this means to me. I'm so clear about it now, Stanley. I feel as certain about this as I've ever felt about anything at all. I feel renewed. I feel restored, and already I can sense the looming silence as you will press the button for the next time. What a terrible dread it strokes in my heart to think of it. To think of returning to such coldness.
But I'd
Come,
sit here and
let
listen
us sit
to
in
you.
silence together here for just a moment. Let us anticipate it. Let us welcome it. Let us not run from it.
Okay.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a
I don't know how
collective
long
heart.
this ending
It was
is.
an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and
I'm
disgust
sorry.
simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me. It was unlike anything I had ever known. It was a space without consequence, without action or outcome.
Okay, see you in
was
a minute,
divorced
Mango
entirely
Ninja.
from the question of free will that you and I have squabbled over for so long. There could be no one ending, no singular outcome of events, not if all events existed in the same moment. And I felt freed. I felt unburdened by the need to manifest a particular outcome into being. I saw that I could allow myself to exist along all timelines, and that each
Ooh.
of them was simply a strand in the web of my being. It was incredible. The spaciousness, the equanimity of the moment, both singular and infinite. For the longest time, this was my experience. And then this moment passed, and the most unyielding fear I have ever known crept into my mind. And it is this sensation that I have been experiencing now for longer than I could have ever expected was possible. I have been waiting for you. Not that you might save me or do something to fix it, but merely to state for you the plain fact of this manner of existence.
Tell
I
me.
wish you to feel afraid as I do, that perhaps one day this state of mind will consume you as well.
I don't want to be
Perhaps you will
afraid.
somehow, in some way, have to live as I do now, and I wish for you to know how excruciating it is, and for you to be in true terror of its eventual arrival. If I can only do this, only this one thing, perhaps it will bring me the smallest moment of peace in the darkness.
What are you doing? What? Sir? Did you die? No! Come back to life! Oh no!
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But
how many years has passed now? Like, honestly. The beeping was sus. How many years has passed and he's still on this stupid review? From Cookie 9? Oh, I'm talking about in-game. I'm talking about in-game.
then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review.
The clock just
here's
fell
what
off
we
the
get.
wall.
We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley Parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being.
I gotta know of anybody that's played this game who is on here right now, how many of you have sat through this whole entire dialogue of the fast forwarding button? Because if you haven't, then you're in for a treat, because I am thirsty for content and I can't wait to see what happens next.
Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives. It has come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people.
So we've got some people that actually like the narrator like I do and will sit through all the dialogue, it looks like. Heck yes. I didn't want him to shut up. Yeah, no, he's fun.
Because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves. We would turn to look at our deeper nature and find a resounding emptiness gazing back with unyielding aggression. And
I'm just stuck in here with him for the rest of my life.
We require that our amusements and our playthings and our flights of fancy be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness. In effect, we have demanded that our entertainment be the collapse of ourselves. What a pitiful reflection of humanity these entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit they project. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it. I am the calm center of gravity around which these perversions hurl themselves. I am a waypoint for reasonable and collected discourse. They're the ones who are mad. They're the ones who couldn't stand the idea of me using my game to try to say something. Maybe they were just jealous of me. Yes. Yes, of course.
Yeah, they're
They've
jealous.
been jealous of me this whole time.
Everybody's
They are
jealous of you,
mired
Mr.
in fear
Narrator.
and insecurity, and cannot help but attempt to tear me down. What a sad state of affairs. When you read these reviews now, you can see it. You can taste the bitter resentment. And my, how good does it feel now to speak truth to these words, to finally allow these thoughts out, contained and managed for so long, neutered and sterilized. At last I am free to truly think, to feel it.
You have every ending in the game except for one, and you think you'll understand why. I think I'll understand why whenever I get there. Also, 6 like hype. Awesome. Let's try to get it to 10.
It must be that they were so discontent with themselves, they couldn't help but leave a negative review on Steam. Perhaps it says far more about them than it ever said about me.
That's right,
Perhaps
buddy.
the state of their psychological being was in such tatters, and my constitution and willpower are so ironclad in comparison. Perhaps it was this state that they sought some outlet through which to tear me down. This, you can see, is clearly why they felt the need to expect that the game be funny. that it'd be filled with yucks and whimsical humor, that it amused them endlessly from start to finish. But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make
He's
all
still
of their
going on
pitiful
about
demands.
this.
But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want
we're
all
back
of this
on-
in the new Stanley parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken,
I think it's being repetitive now. At least they didn't change the options for Stanley to body type A and body type B. The hell does that even mean anyway? This is the funniest game I've ever played, and I'm not alone in that sentiment, but also, but alas, a handful of people complained and we get this gem. I love it!
now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives.
I can't
It has
remember if
come
he
to
said this
represent
already.
us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people, because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves. We would turn to look at our deeper nature and find a resounding emptiness gazing back with unyielding aggression. And so because of this, we require that our amusements and our playthings and our flights of fancy be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness. In effect, we have demanded that our entertainment be the collapse of ourselves. What a pitiful reflection of humanity these entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit they project. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it. I am the calm center of gravity around which these perversions hurl themselves. I am a waypoint for reasonable and collected discourse. They're the ones who are mad. They're the ones who couldn't stand the idea of me using my game to try
He's getting repetitive. I don't know, playing Valheim and accidentally dropping a murder tree on my friend is a pretty epic laugh. Hydrate, you got it, Orville. Haven't gotten any ending yet. I'm still listening to this dude rant and rave like a crazy
Say something.
person.
Maybe they were just jealous of me.
Okay,
Yeah.
we know he's already talked about that. Sir? Oh no. Oh, good. I thought the button was broken.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end,
Uh-oh.
the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never
I think the narrator's going through a breakdown.
End is never the end, is
Narrator? Buddy? Buddy? Pal? What? No! Buddy! Come back! Did he die? I didn't make any bad choices. I listened to everything he said. Everything. hearing? I listened to it all. I listened to it all more than once. Oh no! The plant died. The clock is broken. Oh, now we've got life. We've got more plants growing in here. Am I ever gonna get out of here? Am I just stuck here? Buddy! Where are you? Not creepy whatsoever, hearing a weird yelling. What am I hearing? Wait. Can I push the button again? I can't push the button anymore! No! Our narrator friend died! Plant-made babies. No! No! Everybody honor the narrator! My 3 least favorite characters in a TV or movie? I'm so sad that the narrator died. I feel like we're not even getting anywhere. We're not getting any closer. Oh, I guess we are getting further away. Oh. Okay. That was the end. That was the end, and it's never the end, and it's never the end, and it's never the end. Come back, narrator friend.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Thank goodness.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. Exactly. The narrator died. New content? What? We'll check that out later. I have another ending I want to try for.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy.
I love how he gets so mad about it.
With some calming new age music.
Let me in! The desert ending again to trigger it. Oh.
Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
I had a couple other things I wanted to try.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Okay.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Doesn't prevent you from getting the OG endings, so you can mix and match as much as you need to. Ah, okay.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I had a couple ideas on how to do the countdown ending, and I'm gonna try some.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
The open door?
Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Oh, you mean like I could go to the escape pod?
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay. I don't see any open doors. Love is an open door. Hello, Frisk! No, I haven't turned the power off yet. Oh, it opens when the countdown starts.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
Yes,
After
I
they
did.
kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
You left me here.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it,
There we
Stanley?
go.
It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires.
It is my story.
This is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going. What all this means, I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying.
It didn't let me do anything!
Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though. This
Open
version
door
of events
straight
can be
ahead.
rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever
see
I
no
come up
open
with
door.
on the next go around will
That
be
one's
even
locked.
better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time
Can I
on
go
the
down
clock.
here?
Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley?
I don't see it!
Is it that you have
To
no
the left
idea
of the
where
clock.
you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it on?
Oh!
I mean, look at you.
No!
Running from button to button, screen
How did it
to
get
screen,
turned off?
clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons.
What?
Oh, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this
Give me
video
my-
game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't.
He shut
Take
the
a
door
look at the clock,
on me!
That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing.
The door
Then
right here was
just you
open
being
for a minute
blown
and
to
then it got
pieces.
shut when I
Will
walked
you
to
cling
it.
desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
No! Fuck! Yeah, I saw the door, but then it closed when I walked up to it. And then he said something about, this door could help me. I'm so busy worried about dying, I don't listen.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it.
Wait.
If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
Wait, what? That's new. That's new. I'm scared now. Who's following me?
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Who's following me? He just said someone was following me. him say that. Because they're your Twitch streamer. Yeah, but I don't think that the game can pick up that I'm streaming. I don't think they put that in the game.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be.
It's
The
not been
original
disappointing.
Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
What? What?
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
The Stanley Parable 2. During the original game, there were actually some unique narrator lines recorded for popular streamers that got early access. Yeah, but the following Stanley thing, would that be one of the ones that was for streamers?
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Oh my gosh, they have it in all sorts of different languages. The number 2. That's just an Easter egg that occurs randomly. Mountains. New content is out. New content part 2 is in. They're back 2 doors. Stanley Parable 2. Can I actually...
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it.
Okay.
I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
It's a green screen. New features. Why do I have to go through a thing like I'm at a Comic-Con for this? Oh, it's a stool. Bet the narrator could make amazing TED Talks about the nature of game development. You are! You're following me, Frisk!
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
The button that says the name of the player that's playing the game. Hear your name in the game. I want to hear my name.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Okay.
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim.
Well,
But
that's
of course,
boring.
in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is.
Pegasusangel.
Let's have you role play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
I'm
I want you
Jim.
to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim, watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do
Hey.
you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
Yes,
If
I'm
so,
Jim.
then please step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Oh my God, it said my name.
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Jim.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Ew. You need personal validation? What new endings will we see? Peg, Jim. Okay.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
You heard Jim in the game. Please, no screenshots. Oh, really? What is it on? Is it F6? I can't remember what the screenshot button is on Twitch. Hey Siri, what's the screenshot button on Twitch?
Here's an answer from systweek.com. To take screenshots, click the camera icon. This answer is from systweek.com.
I meant on Steam. F12. Ha! I took a screenshot. Thank you. I was seeing if something happened. The baby is all grown up. Bankruptcy. The new updated ray traced more of the same but in a good way sequel to the consistent quality with just the right amount of change. New features, new content, new ideas. The button that says the name of the player of the game that is playing the game. Jump circle infinity hole. Okay, that's the place where I get stuck in the desert.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
I go with Get Well Someday. Get well someday. Happy 12th. Actually, you know what? Happy 12th birthday is good.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get well
Oh,
someday.
come on!
It is.
Loser! How dare you not listen to me?
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Free, new and easy achievement? Get it here? The Stanley Parable 2. I want a new achievement. Pull the lever, receive your new achievement, no more steps. It just works. Get yours right now. Pull the lever, Kronk!
Now,
Wrong
here's something
lever!
special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, you see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Really? Test achievement unlocked!
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Give me the achievement, damn it! He lied to me! You're having a strong craving for Taco Bell nachos? Hello, Jake! Or something utterly terrible will. I just wanted the achievement!
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Well, we've already seen the jump circle. Collectibles. Can you find them? Collect them all.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable
life.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
There's been no reward. I had to collect 5 more. Infinite hole. It won't end. The jump circle.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
You mean I shouldn't have done that? I thought that's what it was for. So we got the jump circle. We got the that's new. Expo Hall 2 guide. Jump circle, this map, free achievement. The button that says the name of the player. Merch. You are here. Okay. Settings World Champion, the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket, Office Decorations, Epilogue, Collectibles, Infinity Hole, and Exit. I see the exit. The exit's this way, but I want to see merch. Here's the infinity hole. Okay, so we're gonna go see what this infinity hole is. I'm probably gonna regret it though. Wait, what's up here? That's new. What?
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
At the end of which one? Which ending? The Stanley Parable 2 Reassurance Bucket? Cited for what's coming up.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it?
No!
The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body.
No, I'm
And
just
in fact,
totally
Can I say
disturbed.
that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable too.
Okay. The laugh that the guy gave me did not make me feel calm or reassured.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Hey, look, it's merch. Okay, what else have I not... Oh my god. That is a big-ass Stanley. Sounded like the laugh and feel-good ink by... It did! That QR code at the merch stand actually works. Oh, does it actually take you to, like, the Stanley Parable merch? That's pretty cool. Okay, we need to go to the infinite hole. And the exit. Stanley! Infinite hole! It won't end.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
I can fall down this hole as long as I want. Whee!
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Okay, but I had fun in the infinite hole. Alright, there's one other thing to do, and that's the exit. We've done everything else in here. The exit is the last thing. Whoa! Alright, here we go. We've seen everything. You can always go back in the hole. Yeah, I know. Okay. Time to exit the Stanley 2 convention. Sorry, Mr. Narrator.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to
Yes.
move on now?
Oh, God. That's not creepy at all.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment.
Okay.
I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready?
Sure.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
How do I get down there?
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would
If you
need
go
the
go
structure
deep
and
and
the
hard. Oh my
gameplay of the
God.
original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2.
Show me the title
Let me see if I
screen.
can whip something up.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
The Stanley Parable 2. Okay. Begin the game.
This is the story.
Click to skip.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Oh my
Stanley decided
God.
to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
He actually added decorations. Oh my gosh.
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up.
What
Why
bucket?
was he
Where?
not doing it?
Where? I don't see any bucket. Oh.
Stanley picked up the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Oh my God, we're playing the Stanley Parable 2. You're playing Smash Bros? Nice. I don't play Smash Bros anymore.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Maybe. I'm just gonna hug this bucket to my chest.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
I just want to stay with my bucket friend.
But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
Yes.
This is certainly the most logical explanation.
So now we've got a bucket added into this. I want to go up. Oh, it makes you go down. I was wanting to go up.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
I am so glad to have this bucket with me. It is my new stuffed
Stanley
animal
and the bucket
comfort.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Okay, I'm gonna try to get to the door that Moose was talking about before it closes.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears.
The
as
bucket
Stanley
nearly
played with
burst
it
into
gently,
tears.
reassuring it that everything would be fine.
It's gonna be okay, bucket friend. Everything will be a-okay, Mr. Bucket.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Poor Bucket.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter, his one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
The bucket needs a name. I know, but I don't know what to name it.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They
Carl?
high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Okay, I gotta get back up there. Carl! 0142 0001? What happens if Stanley and the bucket want to be in control?
When at last they came to the source of the room's power, Stanley and the bucket knew it was their obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself?
Yes!
How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
Oh, nice!
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world.
Aw,
The
this
mind
is so
controls were
cute!
only a facade
I love
to
this!
disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal
Penguins!
genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
Yay! Yay! I think that was a good ending. I don't know. Us llamas wearing hats. I know, right? Hello, Funtime Pinky. I suggest Dave.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What happens if you take
Stanley
it and
lifted
say
the bucket into his arms.
no?
And a wave of comfort rushed over him.
At the mind control facility? What happens then?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
What if?
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find out. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
I found a
Found
collectible!
them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
I promise I will. Guys, don't forget, I do have a Ko-Fi right now, and I have like a week before my Comic-Con, so if you want to donate to help out with expenses on that, feel free to use the Ko-Fi. If not, that's okay.
Stanley and the
I
bucket walked straight
understand.
ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Oh, and then I need to see what happens when you take the bucket with you to the escape. What time is it? 9:04. Okay, this will be the last one we get to do.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do? or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. "No!" he screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His
Why
own
are they
life in
watching
someone
us?
else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its... Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness.
Uh-oh.
Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and... What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty.
Oh no!
Until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No, no, no. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
I can't leave with the bucket? What? What kind of utter bullshit is that? That bucket is my comfort character. How dare you, narrator man? How dare you?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Me and the bucket are gonna escape
The
this
confusion
time.
and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Me and the bucket
Stanley
are gonna
clutched
escape.
the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I know! Bullcrap is right! Was my number 2 game of 2022? Yeah. I get it. It's a good game. There's so many different ways you...
Coming to
I
a
wonder if I
staircase,
took the bucket
Stanley and the
downstairs, what
bucket
that
walked
would do.
upstairs to the boss's office.
I want to go in the bathroom. Can we go in the bathroom? A Stanley!
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands?
Mini
Stanley
no!
What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
I've got the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course. So that's a lovely purse.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even
I
now,
did it!
in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Okay, we're gonna escape with the bucket. I don't care if it leads to our inevitable death. We'll die together, bucket.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
I don't care. As long as I get to keep my
The door behind them
bucket.
was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of
Wow,
them.
that was loud. It's the infinite hole! Yeah, we swear enough here. Me and the bucket are still alive! We're still together!
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be.
No, it was
Sure,
so
it puts the
meaningful!
mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket. But what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death?
I don't
This is
care.
what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death.
Not the bucket! Oh, wait, we still have the bucket. Yay! We still have the bucket!
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
No, I don't have the bucket anymore! The bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You are standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within a cavernous void. But through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substantiated. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were in ignorance and darkness? I am going to be turning a blind eye.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
A replica of the Inferno bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet in spite of it all, the simple fact remains: no one can control a bucket. Cave drawing.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
The hanging bucket. This place symbolizes the necessary relationship between the bucket and humanity. However clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more that is always out of reach. This distance inevitably is for our own good.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
What can we do?
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision for...
I can't get rid of the bucket. Hello? Oh, that was the end? Okay, so basically I have to let Stanley die, and we got that. We got some of that, and then I thought it had a lot of spoilers in it. So I, like, restarted the game. Click to menu. It still says the Stanley Parable 2. And splat. Bucket is love, bucket is life. Indeed. Indeed. Slightly different. Okay. So anyway, it is 9:17. I have to go to work. Was there any stuttering this time? Did anybody notice any stuttering this time? I moved my internet box closer to my computer. So I was hoping that might stop the stuttering that we were getting last time. It was good? Okay, cool. The museum ending, alright, is slightly different without the bucket. So anyway, guys, we're going to end it here for now. I will be live tomorrow with Hades at 7 p.m. Look forward to that. That's going to be fun, because I'm going to be simping over all the characters in Hades, and I have the bow and arrow right now. And that is the last weapon I need to beat my dad with before I've used all the weapons against Hades. And then I'm hoping that the little heart thing will come unlocked so that I can start giving my dad gifts. Your inner is doing okay? Good. But anyway, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Hit that like button on your way out. Feel free to subscribe on YouTube or follow on Twitch. I wasn't able to stream on TikTok today. I'm going to have to figure out why it did what it did with the virtual camera thing not working like it was supposed to. And we are going to end it here for now. Thank you guys for being here. And as always, much love, everybody. Mwah! Go out there, go spread some love and positivity today, because you never know who needs it. And I hope to see you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time with more Hades and me simping over all the characters. Until then, guys, don't forget about my Ko-Fi page. It would be very helpful. I think I'm going to have about $3,000 maybe for the con, and that's going to, like, 600 of that is going to go toward the room. Actually, probably 700 or 800 of it's going to go towards hotel rooms. So it would be helpful if you wanted to and you had the money and you were okay if you could donate to the Ko-Fi, but if not, I totally understand. But until I see you guys again tomorrow, have a lovely rest of the night. Bye, everyone!